Hey everyone, welcome back to the workshop. I have a video that I actually made these last year, reversible signs for Halloween, Christmas, that I never got a chance to edit. I was getting some of the videos were corrupt. So I found enough of the video that works that I can kind of show you how easy it is to make these things. The video is actually going to be making this one here. One side says boo. Yes, this side says be merry, but this one's actually more difficult than this one because you actually got to put a hat on it. This one here, it says spooky. Then I have a stencil that shows, I got a stencil that shows a spider web. I actually even hot glued little plastic spiders on it for Halloween. And then let it snow, and I got stencils of little snowflakes too that came with the letters. But all you need is kind of a stencil, print out some stuff, and these are made from scrap wood. So if you're just doing it for yourself, scrap wood's fine. But if you're gonna sell it, just go and buy a fence board. It's depends on where you live. Only a few dollars for a 6-foot fence board or even a 5-foot fence board. These are only 3 feet, so they're only, I believe, 36 inches tall. So let's get to the video. So first thing you want to do here is take your 5-foot board here. Now if you're going to sell it, probably best off to use new boards, and fence boards are pretty cheap. Depends on where you live. So, but for this, I'm just going to use old fence boards, and I'm going to sand them down. They're pressure treated, so they'll still be good even with they're sanded down. So we're going to take one here and cut it down. So since this was a used one, I'm going to cut it down to about 48 inches from 60. So you can get rid of the nail marks and the rot marks here. But if you're buying it from a store, it should be all good, and you can use the whole 5 feet. So let me cut it down, and then we'll go to the next step. I'm going to do this one here. I'm going to make a little mini hat with another little piece of fence board. So this fence board being 5.5 inches wide, I'll probably make this about 9 inches, and I'll cut a piece of fence board in half here to make the hat. And then what I'll do is I'll do like a be merry and do a little snowman face there, and then on the other side I'll do like a boo with a kind of like a jack-o'-lantern there, and maybe like a spider web on the top or something like that. We'll see. And then we'll go from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this part here white. You see a white background with red lettering here. The hat will be black with white lettering. This side I'm going to do an orange here with black lettering, and then the black jack-o'-lantern, and then a black hat. Okay, so let me go and paint the board, and then we'll come back. Okay, might have to put a couple coats here. So I got a couple coats of white, and I got black there, and then orange with the black there. I just have to do the sides here, and then I just cut 2 pieces for the hat there. So I did a measurement with that board and it overlapping about 2 inches on each side for the hat brim. So on that, so this piece came to about 9.5, and then I split it in half for each side. And so I'm going to sand this down. I will put a couple screws in it to secure it. I could probably put brad nails in, as this is about probably just under 3/4 inch of thickness, so I could always put a 1-inch brad nail on each side, 2 on each side there. Maybe I'll just do that since it's don't need to put screws in to hold the boards like the bigger ones. So let me sand these down. I'll paint these black. I'll secure it on the board, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we're getting ready to put the boo on here, the letters. What you want to do is get some spray adhesive and just lightly spray it on there. And what it does is it creates a tacky surface. So like here you can see, so just enough so that this or the letters will stick to it. So what you're going to do next is kind of line it up, and then you just kind of push it down, and then the tackiness will kind of put the stencil down so it doesn't bleed through. Now you still might get a little bit of bleeding here, because like if you look at all the little nicks here of the wood, you're gonna get them. So let me get these stencils on here and then I'll come back. Okay, so I got the B done, and it's not too bad. You can see it's very difficult where the cracks are, but turned out pretty good. Now I'll put the 2 O's on here, and then we'll come back. Okay, so you can see it's a little bright out here now, but it's all done on that side. Now I'll do the other side. So I just make sure I evenly spaced them out here. Now the other side is going to have more letters, and as you can see, all I did for the jack-o'-lantern, I just found something online, printed it out. Make sure I printed it out so it'll fit nicely on here. You know, remember, it's just over, you know, it depends on your fence board where you buy them. Mine was about a 5 1/4. So I just did that, and I took an X-Acto knife and cut it out with an X-Acto knife. If you want, you can just use carbon paper if you want to trace it on, and then paint it on there. So let me get the Christmas letters on and we'll come back. Okay, so got that all done. So I did the same thing there, as I just printed something out online and printed it off. Then I put white here, and then I did red here. So I did notice a little bit of bleeding. So what I'm going to do is I do have acrylic markers, so you can see a little bit of bleeding right there. I'll just touch it up with a little white acrylic marker, and then it'll be good. So let me do a final touch up and then put a clear coat on it, and we'll come back. Okay, so it's all done now. What I decided to do is I put a couple little bats on the bottom since I had extra room there. And then the other side here. Turn it back up here so you see it. So if you have any questions, leave in the comment section below. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell to be notified when I post another video. And we'll talk to you later.